The NBA spent years hoping this version of Luka Dončić would never show up. Not the 40 points and bad defense Luka, not the out of shape but still a genius Luka.
They're outscoring them 21-10. The bench, that's what's kept Minnesota in this game.
The version they're getting right now, locked in, slimmed down, mean, and doing it in a Lakers jersey. When Lakers played San Antonio, I honestly expected Victor Wembanyama to be the best defensive player on the floor. He wasn't. It was Luka. And the craziest part, that's not even the wildest thing he's done in the last 10 days. The Lakers are 11-4. They're on top of the Pacific Division. That trade that already looked lopsided in year 1 is somehow getting worse for Dallas every game. And with every possession, Luka makes the Mavericks' front office look like they hit Simulate franchise with no save file. Let's walk through what he's done lately, and I'm gonna hit you with a twist in the middle that might be even scarier than the numbers. But before we start, if you love basketball and you're one of the 90% who watch without subscribing, it's time to join the NBA Inside family. Click it and let's live this season together. Luka's Revenge Tour, Week 1. Oh, this is real. Since that absurd showing against the Spurs, Luka hasn't calmed down. He's stepped on the gas. 5 steals, 2 blocks, diving into passing lanes, rotating early, calling out coverages. You ever watch a player and go, oh, he's on a mission? That's where Luka is right now. The league spent years hoping he'd stay at almost great. Talented enough to be a top 5 guy, but never quite in shape, never locked into defense, never fully committed. Yeah, that version is gone. After a blockbuster trade nobody predicted, a body transformation nobody expected, and a start to the season that's already rewriting record books, Luka Dončić is turning into exactly what front offices feared: a motivated superstar on the biggest stage in the league's most iconic jersey. And every time the Lakers play, Dallas looks worse. You can almost picture the Mavericks' owner watching League Pass like, so, we really did that, huh? Miami, even on a bad shooting night. Let's rewind a bit. Right after that Spurs explosion, the Lakers did something smart. They sat Luka against Portland. Early season load management. You finally have something special. You don't burn it out in November. Then he came back and immediately reminded everyone who he is. Against Miami on November 2, he casually dropped his first triple-double of the season. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. And here's the fun part. He shot 40.9% from the field and went 1 for 11 from 3. That's not a perfect shooting night, that's a your jumper's trolling you night. And he still controlled the game. Austin Reeves went off for 26, and the Lakers put up 130 points and they beat the Heat 130 to 120. This is where you start to see the shift. Old Luka? If the 3 wasn't falling, sometimes the body language tanked. This Luka? Okay, the jumper's off. I'll dominate everywhere else. That superstar gross. That's I don't need to shoot well to win territory. Question for you. If a guy can give you a triple-double and win while bricking threes, what happens when the shot does fall? Spoiler, we saw it a few nights later. San Antonio, the weirdest masterpiece. Then came San Antonio on November 5. This is the game that felt like a turning point, not because of the raw scoring, but because of how he did it. Luka went for 35 points, 13 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks in a 118 to 116 win. And no Laker had ever put up that precise combination in a regular season game. Here's the weird part. He shot 9 for 27, 33% from the field. On paper, that looks inefficient. In reality, it felt like he hit every shot that mattered. Big threes late, perfect reads in crunch time. Every time the game threatened to swing, he smothered it. That's what champion guards do. Not score pretty. Control time, score when it matters, and turn defense into free points. You know how rare it is to see a superstar have an off shooting night and you still walk away thinking he was the best player on the floor by miles. That was this game. And defensively, 5 steals and 2 blocks is something you expect from a lockdown wing, not the guy who was once memed for treating defense like cardio punishment. Charlotte. Oh, this is my career on rookie. Fast forward to November 10 in Charlotte. This one was straight up bullying. Luka dropped 38 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 5 made threes, and 50% from the field. He even threw down a dunk that had the whole building like, wait, since when does he do that? Rui Hachimura turned into prime third option for a quarter, putting up 13 of his 21 points in the third. The Lakers outscored the Hornets 31-15 in that frame and basically ended the game right there. Final score 121-111. Sixth win in 7 games at that point. Lakers in full rhythm. And you start to realize there's no down game coming. There's no regression week. He's stacking performances like this every few nights. But here's where we pause for the twist. Here's the twist. The scariest thing about Luka right now isn't the offense. Not the 30 balls, not the crazy assists, not even the step backs. It's that his defense is now good, and his decision-making is elite. We're used to stars exploding on one end. We are not used to a guy putting up historic offensive numbers while checking every grown man basketball box on the other side. The San Antonio game was a preview. Then came the Jazz. LeBron returns. Whose team is this really? Now we get to November 18. This one felt like a movie. LeBron James finally returns for his 23rd season. Yes, 23rd. That number alone is insane. You've got LeBron, you've got Luka, you've got the Jazz in town. Everyone wants to see how does this actually look on the court. Answer: terrifying. Luka went for 37 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, 50% from the field, 81.3% at the line. He absolutely controlled the tempo, and in the third quarter, he led the Lakers on a 23-5 run over 6:39 that basically killed the game. But the real story was LeBron. He finally checked in and played like the smartest secondary star you've ever seen. He only took 7 shots, he scored 11 points, and he handed out 12 assists, the most in the game. In the fourth quarter alone, he dished out 6 assists and just closed the door. No ego, no "this is still my team" energy. He let Luka handle the torch while he played floor general, connector, and closer. The Lakers dropped 140 points on Utah in a 140-126 win, and it looked easy. When LeBron is cool playing that role and Luka is cool being the engine, that's a championship formula. Full stop. And that's when you look around the league and go, okay, who's actually beating this 4 times in 7 games if everyone's healthy? The numbers are getting silly. Let's zoom out for a second. Season-wide, Luka is sitting at 34.6 points per game and 47.2% from the field. His true shooting is in elite territory, and he's posting the lowest turnover rate of his career while carrying more responsibility than ever. But the early season stretch is what really melted brains. Tracking data from Real Sports shows that through 5 games, he was averaging 40 points, 11 rebounds, 9.2 assists, and 50% shooting. First player ever to open a season averaging at least 40 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists through his first 5 games. Not since Jordan, not since Kobe, ever. Advanced numbers from OPA take it even further. In those first 5 games, between his scoring and his assists, he had created over 311 total points, the most any player has ever been responsible for to start a season. And here's the wild part. We're 15 games in now. He hasn't really come back down to earth. The pick and roll from hell. Let's talk pick and roll. When Luka runs it, the Lakers score 1.185 points per play. That's the 4th best efficiency in the league for any player who's used at least 50 pick and rolls as the ball handler. That is a career best mark for him. If you're not into numbers, here's what that means in plain English. If the Lakers ran on nothing but Luka pick and rolls for an entire game, they'd have an offense rivaling the best units in NBA history. You have to pick your poison. Bring 2 to the ball, he slings it to a shooter. Stay home on shooters, he walks into a floater or bully ball drive. Switch a small defender, that's an automatic post-up. And when LeBron's on the floor as a secondary handler, the decisions become impossible. You can't shade help off either guy without giving up something easy. Defense. The part nobody wanted to see. The offensive explosion is obvious. The defensive jump is what makes this terrifying. The Spurs game was 5 steals and 2 blocks. That wasn't a random he got hot defensive night. His block rate, steal rate, and defensive rebounding numbers are all hovering around career highs. He's rotating earlier, jumping passing lanes with intent, not gambling, walling up better at the rim, and actually taking matchups personally. The guy they said would never care enough on defense is suddenly caring. And when you combine MVP-level offense with legitimate defensive impact, that's when you stop talking about top 5 player and start talking about best player in the world type seasons. So, what now? Here's what the Lakers have cooked up. Luka playing at a historic level. LeBron embracing a smarter, more selective role. Austin Reeves as a real secondary shooter. Role guys like Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, and Marcus Smart filling in the gaps. They're 11-4. They're leading their division. They just got LeBron back. And their best player looks like he's still warming up. For years, people asked, what if Luka ever really locks in? What if he gets in top condition? What if he lands on a franchise that actually builds around his strengths and holds him accountable? Yeah, we're living that timeline now. And somewhere in Dallas, every Luka highlight is a fresh punch to the gut. Every Lakers win is a reminder of what they gave away. So let me throw it to you. Do you think that this version of the Lakers, Luka at this level, LeBron in this role, is good enough to win the title this year? Or do you still trust someone else more in a 7-game series? Let me know what you think. If you're enjoying watching this Luka season in real time, stick around here, because this story is only getting crazier from here.